my TikTok journey, how it started. And it's really kind of funny. So I just kind of decided early on, and I don't know, a decade or so ago, that I didn't want to get to a point where there was some kind of technology I didn't know how to do. I consider myself pretty technologically savvy, and I'm able to, John jokes that the reason that he knew he wanted to marry me because one day when we were dating, we were on the phone and he asked me what I was doing. And I said, I just hooked up my surround sound stereo at my new apartment. And he said he knew right then that he wanted to marry me. But I do consider myself pretty technologically savvy, but TikTok was one of those things where I didn't know what it was for. I thought I didn't ever do Snapchat or whatever, but I said, I don't want to feel old and have to ask my kids to do technology for me. I want to be able to do it myself. And back when I had lost weight a long time ago, I started just posting pictures of outfits on Instagram. And I really enjoyed that, and my husband enjoyed it. And I thought, I'm going to go back to doing that. I'm going to use that fun sparkly eyeshadow. I thought, I love doing the outfit of the day, and that is something I do every day. I dress every day. So why not make that what I post about? Because I love it. I'm excited about it. I do think I have somewhat of a knack for picking outfits out. So that's really the reason I started doing it, is because I wanted to learn technology. I wanted to learn TikTok. And choosing something that I do every day anyway, I don't have to think of content. People asked about hair damage after weight loss. I lost a lot of hair. I probably lost a third of my hair, and it was very sad. And I really thought that it wasn't going to happen to me. I thought I was going to escape that because it took about 6 months for my hair to start falling out after I lost the weight. And I had lost almost all the weight by about 6 months. So I really honestly thought, this is not going to happen to me, but it did. It started really falling out. And it's just one of those things that just takes time to grow back. But the Blowout Professor on YouTube, I found him, and he's really helped me get my hair back healthy again using the products that he recommends. I've changed the way that I wash my hair and how frequently I wash my hair. And definitely 100% attribute the bonnet also to helping keep my hair healthier. The last thing I'll talk about, because probably this is all the time I'll have today, is my career. So when I decided I wanted to go to nursing school, I was living in Panama City, Florida, and I just wanted the heck out of town. I wanted out. I wanted something that I could move out of my town, because I know that a lot of you might have fond memories of going to Panama City, but when you live in Panama City, it's a little bit different. But I wanted to be able to move anywhere in the United States and have a job. And I wanted to be able to be financially independent. So on my nursing school application, it does not say I want to help people. Okay, so I did get my 2-year nursing degree first, and I worked in the lockdown mental health ward in the Bay County. It was called Bay Memorial Hospital, which is actually where I was born. And that was my first job. It's called Sacred Heart Ascension Bay or something now, but it was Bay Memorial at the time. And I'm not going to be able to talk while I do my lipstick, so hang on and I'll be back.
You gotta change the color of your lips. You cannot allow your lips to simply be the natural color that they are. That would be so terrible. That's why you need some lipstick. Oh yeah, you need some lipstick. Color your lips. You look so much better. Don't be stupid.
So the job that I really wanted was labor and delivery. That was back when you just worked in labor and delivery, or you just worked in the nursery. Now it's all kind of together. But those jobs were really hard to get. And the only job that was mildly remotely interesting to me that was available at that hospital at the time was night shift in the lockdown mental health unit. Which was not where I thought I would end up, but it was great. I did a year. I worked nights there. I got married at 21 because that's really smart. Get married at 21 when your brain's not even developed. And even smarter is marry somebody that you've never lived in the same state. That's really smart too, because you know all about them when you. Anyway, I worked a year there, and then I moved to Hattiesburg, which this is the area where my first husband is from, and I worked in the same kind of department. It was the mental health unit. Let me tell you, the great thing about working in mental health, you get paid the same by the hour as the nurses who were hanging blood and dealing with crazy stuff over at the main hospital, but you don't have to put up with any visitors in the rooms or families that are visiting. You don't have to hang blood. You don't have to do IVs. And it's the patients are not physically sick, right? They're going to groups and everything. So it's a whole other kind of stress and busyness, but it's a lot easier than regular nursing. I'll tell you that much. So that was my career. Now, in the middle of doing nursing, because I was alone so much in my first marriage, I decided to go back to school. And my hospital at the time would reimburse your tuition if you passed, if you got an A or a B. So that's what I did. I went back and I got my bachelor's of science in nursing, and that opened up a lot of doors. And a friend of mine told me about pharmaceutical sales. I didn't know anything about that. And so in the year 1997, 93 is when I got my nursing license. I was 21 or I was 20. I was 20. I was 20 when I got my nursing license, 20 or 21 anyway. And then 21 when I moved to Hattiesburg, worked here until 1997 in the psychiatric department. In 1997, I went to work in the main hospital building in the computer department. And in 2000, I left the hospital and became a pharmaceutical rep. And that was fabulous. I did that for 6 years. And that was wonderful. And I got a taste for kind of, having an autonomous schedule and being alone and driving around and doing that kind of work. And that was great. Oh, goodness gracious. And then I did that for 6 years, 2 different companies. And unfortunately, I left my last company because I thought I had found a better job for a computer company. And I ended up covering 5 states, and it was really bad. It was bad. It was travel. It was crazy. So I quit that job with one hand, and with the other hand, I called I redid my nails. Aren't they fun? So fun. I tried to do a video, but I don't have the setup to film this. There are plenty of good tutorial videos out there, but loving this. Anyway, with the other hand, I called my old nurse manager, and I was like, I want to come back. I don't know what I want to do, but can I come back? And she said, sure. So I was, that's why I went to nursing school, so I'd always have a job. So I did that from, 06 to 2014. And then I became a realtor in 2014. And that was because a mutual friend of mine and my best friend saw a Facebook post that I put on Facebook where I was like, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. These are all the things I like to do. And I made a list of things like, I don't mind it being sales, but I want it to be something meaningful, and I don't want to be stuck in an office all day, and I like to drive. And so she's like, hey, I think you'd make a good realtor. And she was right. So I became a realtor in 2014. I've been at the same brokerage the whole time, and I just finished serving. I have served as the president, worked my way up through the board of directors and was the president of the local board of realtors here. And now I'm off of the board. I still serve on some state committees. I've served on national committees also, but I still serve at the state level, and I enjoy that. And I love being self-employed. This is the finished makeup look, and I'm just going to stop here, but I have 3 pages of questions, so there will be more. I'm going to see if there's anything else I can say real quick before I go. Real quick, a real common question is, what do I eat in a day? And it's a funny question. See if I have lipstick on my teeth. It's a funny question because, first of all, I don't track it. But if I did, this is what it would look like. Bread, French fries, bread, fried shrimp, French fries, and a protein ice cream at night. I have to have French fries almost every day. They're my favorite thing. And so when you are looking at your plate of food, a lot of people look at their food and they say, well, I'm going to eat this, and this. And then if I finish everything, I'm going to then have this as a reward, because that's kind of how we're taught when we're little. I see people do it with their kids all the time. If you eat all this, then you can have this. Well, now I'm backwards. I look at it and I say, what is the thing I want to eat the most? And it's the French fries. So I don't even order. A lot of times I don't order an entree. If I do, I'll order an appetizer as my meal, or I'll just order French fries with a side of sour cream, and I dip my French fries in the sour cream and eat it, or dip them in mayonnaise. So I eat a lot of French fries. When I do eat, I eat, about a third of what I order, maybe a half. I don't drink any calories, and I do a protein shake at night a lot, not as a meal replacement necessarily, but as a dessert, because it gives me extra protein and it's delicious. It makes me feel like I'm having ice cream. So tomorrow I'll do this again. And if you have any additional questions, feel free to put them in the comments down here. We'll keep adding to the list. And fix up, y'all. It'll make you feel better. Really, it will.